What's going on, guys? I'll do kind of I don't know if it's gonna be a quick video or what. We'll see how it goes. Kind of piggybacking off of Lone Star Lowe's. They just put a video, kind of their shop talk videos. I've been getting into those, kind of just like hanging out, BSing with everybody, but without being able to talk to them, I guess. But yeah, if you haven't checked out their videos yet, or his channel, I should say, Lone Star Lowe's, check him out. He's kind of one of the guys that got me into making YouTube videos, and he just does some awesome videos. Primarily works on like 60s Impalas, which, I dig. I've got one. Yeah, I've got one. One day I might work on it. We'll see. Reason I say one day, you might see the Oldsmobile in the background. Gonna try getting back on this project. For those of you that don't know, this is my first car, like literally my first car. I've built it a few different times over the years. It's never peaked since when I was 18, 19. That was when it was at its pinnacle point, I should say. It had a nice paint job-ish, nice top. It had an interior in it, I could say. But that's what brings me to the point of this video. Attention to detail is really what got me going when I was watching Lone Star Lowe's video. Attention to detail can be a very good thing, and it can also make your project never get finished. Reason being, I had started this car, and as I said, when I was in high school, I had it painted. Me and a guy that I used to work with, we painted it in the middle of a sand pit, believe that or not, at a boatyard I used to work at. Turned out pretty good. I was happy with it. Quality, it wasn't show car quality. Definitely a lot better than like the majority of stuff I've seen. I was in Panama City at the time. We'd hit the strip, spring break. That was like the peak of spring break. My car looked better than the majority of the cars out there. But going back to attention to detail, what's crazy is like, I've spent a lot of time, a lot of effort into making this as nice of a car as I could at the time. Had a little bit of orange peel. I learned how to wet sand. Was it perfect? No. But it was a lot better than a lot of the stuff that I had seen out of the beach. And what was crazy, this is a silver color. It's pretty much a factory color almost. It just had a little bit of flake in it. But you would see like a car with big rims that just had a garbage paint job on. I'm talking about garbage paint job. It'll get a ton of attention. And people will see my car and be like, yeah, that's an okay car. And it blew my mind to think of like just somebody going, picking a car out of the field, taking it to Mako or Spray Glow, whatever it's called, throwing a $300 paint job on it, and people just being blown away by it. And here I am, block sanded everything, I wet sanded, I buffed it, put as much effort into it to make it look as nice as I could. And people are just like, that's a nice car. But yeah, so that's definitely something to keep in mind. I'm not saying go out and build a junk car by any means, but also don't get where I got. After that, I pulled this off the frame. I was probably 20-ish, pulled it off the frame, reinforced the whole frame. I was gonna build a hopper out of it. That was my main goal. It hopped good on a stock frame, which I can't believe I didn't destroy the car. Somehow I didn't. But yeah, so I built a whole rolling chassis. I painted everything. Didn't have money for chrome, nothing like that. Didn't paint the floorboard. I'm kind of surprised I didn't. But as far as like all the suspension components, I painted every nut and bolt. I tried to make it as nice as I could. I'll bring you in here and kind of show you what I'm talking about. Now, keep in mind, this is 20 years from now. And this is like version 3, actually. But you can see I shaved the firewall. That was one of the very first things I did while I was working on it when I had off the frame. Painted it twice, because the first time it turned out like crap. Painted outside, moisture set on it, and milked up. Made me lose a ton of motivation on it. So, went back, redid it, turned out good. It's been sitting probably 15 years since then. While it was off the frame, I painted it. It was white. The first version I did base coat, clear coat. It looked good. Didn't last very long, and got discouraged with it. So let it sit, and then kind of got back on it again. Seems like every couple of years I'll get on it pretty hardcore, and I'll make a bunch of progress, but then I'll let it sit. And it's a terrible thing to do for a project. But yeah, so the second time I got back on it, stripped the whole front end down, painted the frame white again. Actually sandblasted the frame. Just the front half, from the body forward. And painted it white. I used Rust-Oleum on that because that seemed to be the thing that was working the best for where I was working at. Painted the core support. I had it sandblasted as well. And yeah, let it sit. And this is kind of what happens when you let it sit. The motor, I cleaned it all up. It's just a 305, ain't nothing fancy. But bought some fancy accessories, cleaned it all up, painted it. And this, my buddies always joke, they'd be like, this thing's like a pearl. It's really good looking on the inside when you open the hood, but just looking from the outside in, it was so terrible. You know, the roof was shot. I had replaced the whole roof back in the day, you know, time frame when I'm talking about all this. The roof literally just looked like Swiss cheese. You know, I mean, it had more holes than Swiss cheese. But yeah, where I'm kind of getting at with this is I had wasted so much time trying to make this thing nice, you know, and if I stuck on it, yeah, it'd probably be a different story, but didn't really have funds to do that, you know, and I was just kind of really overkill for what I was trying to do, what I should have been doing, you know, more or less, I guess, live within your means, build a car within your means, I guess is the easiest way of putting it. As you guys seen the Blue Rose, when I got that car, it was in terrible shape. It was just about like this, but I didn't go out to make that thing super nice. I made it to be a driver. And I told myself when I started working on it, I said, I'm not going to go overboard. I'm not taking it off the frame. You know, I'm just going to put it together. I'm going to make it presentable. You know, and I did that. And I had fun with that car. I enjoyed it. I drove the hell out of that car. And, yeah, I could definitely say that's an accomplished goal. You know, wasn't show worthy by any means, but it wasn't bad to look at. You know, most people I looked at, they didn't see the flaws that I seen. You know, I put a quarter panel on it. My bodywork wasn't perfect by any means, but no one else noticed it, you know. And that's kind of one of those things where you need to learn to draw the line. You know, how far do you want to go? You know, is anyone else even going to see the flaws that you see? Probably not. You know, I've learned that. I'll bring you up to my Fleetwood and kind of let you look at it. You know, a lot of people look at it like, wow, this thing is immaculate. No, it's not. I assure you. You know, but I think that's one of those things where I see it, no one else sees it, you know, and that's kind of a hard thing not to get hung up on. And before I walk away from this thing, I've been trying to work on it like all year, and it doesn't look like it, but yeah, it's been infested with wasps. I've been stung. This year I've been stung more times than I've been stung in my entire life in 1 year. Bees have been tearing me up, wasps, so it's finally cold enough to where they're all dead, so I'm going to start working on this. Yeah, so look forward to seeing it in the future. I was really planning on taking a break from building other people's cars, kind of getting burned down on that, but that's what fun's building these, so we'll see how that goes. So, we're up at the house, got my tan Fleetwood, pretty clean car. You know, I guess I'm being modest by saying it's not. It is a pretty clean car. Is it flawless? No. You know, over there, front bumper trim, I messed it up hopping, broke it. There's some dings in the door I can see. There's some dings in the passenger side door. You know, paint, it's pretty clean. There's some flaws in it, yeah. But also, you know, I had Joe Thompson paint it for me. He did a hell of a job for what he charged me, so I have no complaints. You know, it's one of those things where you pick and choose your battles. You know, he put way more time, effort in for what he charged me for this paint. Is there flaws in it? Is it a $20,000 paint job? Probably not. Definitely good enough for me. You know, I enjoyed riding it around. I think it looks pretty damn good. Everyone that's looked at it says it looks pretty damn good. By far one of the best paint jobs I've ever had on any of my vehicles, that's for sure. You know, and like I said, he gave me a damn good price, and he did an awesome job. You know, you see my trim there? I did paint that once before, and it's turned out like crap. Is that going to stop me from driving the car? No. You know, it gives me a project to work on in the future. You know, would I like it to be perfect? Yes. But is it going to stop me from driving the car? Not a chance in hell. You know, just like that trim there. Yeah, it's broken. It looks ugly. I agree. Is it going to stop me from driving the car? Not a chance in hell. Am I going to pay $300 for that piece of trim? Not a chance in hell. I'll build something before I do all that. Am I rolling Daytons? Hell no. These are some, I don't even know what those are. You know, they're just literally some rims that I painted red, and I ride them. You know, a lot of people may frown upon it, but hey, I can fire this thing up and go drive it. I can go have fun in it. That's kind of one of those things where I'm saying draw the line, you know. This is pretty much at the point where once I start tearing it up, it's expensive to fix, you know. I hop it still. I tore the reverse lights out, as you may have seen. I ripped the back bumper trim off, you know. Oops. But I had fun doing it, you know. And yeah, I fixed it. Did I get a NOS bumper pad put on there? No. I siliconed it on, you know. It's there. It's there till it falls off again, you know. Would you have known if I didn't tell you? No, you wouldn't have. You know, reverse lights, I'm going to build some clips to put in there, you know, hang them on there. Clark with Platinum Princess, he kind of solidified idea I had, you know, so I'm going to try that, build some little brackets and put the reverse lights back in there. Now, you get guys that are like, oh, you're not using the OE parts, it's rigged up, it's stuck on there. That's cool, man. I mean, if you want to buy me a bumper pad, 300 bucks, 600 bucks, feel free. I am working on a budget. Yeah, I do want my car still to look somewhat nice, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I mean, maybe back in the day with my Oldsmobile, as you've seen, yeah, I might have, but I want to be able to drive my car and enjoy it. And then with that being said, I get the point that, everybody doesn't want raggedy ass lowriders riding around. I completely understand that, especially at car clubs and stuff like that. Yeah, you don't want that representing you, but also, you don't really want to unmotivate somebody from, getting their car built. I mean, we don't all just have a turnkey lowrider right out of the gate. You usually start a project that's in rough shape. But yeah, driving it helps motivate you to keep wanting to work on it. Having it sit in your shop for years and years and years on end. I mean, yeah, you can start getting stuff done to it, but to me, it just doesn't motivate me. Like, if I go out and cruise this thing, I get to hang out with a bunch of people. Even just going to shows really just fires me up to work on stuff. It makes a huge difference. I've had this car sitting at my mom's house for years and years and years. Didn't really talk to a whole lot of people. Started getting the Blue Rose going. Took it to some shows, and it fired me up to get working on this thing. Which is why it is where it is now. It's come a long way since then. If I would have basically just took it in the shop, did all my suspension work, sent it off to paint, I probably wouldn't have gone this far, honestly. But just getting out and driving it, and meeting other people, talking with other people, getting ideas, it all escalated from there. And I'm not saying don't do it by any means, but don't get too carried away with it, I guess is the point of the video I'm trying to make. I'm kind of stuttering here, but yeah, I'm just saying, try not to get too deep into it, because it's a very easy thing to do. Just enjoy your car. Get it somewhat presentable where you're happy with it. Like I said, just basically try and build a vehicle within your means. I'm not rich by any means. I trade out work with people. I just haggled. I don't know, I wouldn't even really say haggled. Try and do everything myself, other than the paint. That's one thing that I definitely could not have done, and had it turn out this nicely. Here I say, you got a flat tire on the car. Yeah, that wheel leaks. I can't afford wheels right now. It leaks down like every 2 days. Is it gonna stop me from driving the car? No, not a bit. I'm gonna still cruise it and have fun. Now if it gets to where it leaks like every time I go somewhere, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to stop and get a set of wheels. But that's one of the things that's on the build to do. Just try and put a little bit in this car, a little bit in that car, which is crazy. I agree. But yeah, I mean, this thing, I can get in it and drive it. I can have fun while I work on another project. That's kind of where I wanted to go with this thing. I'm not done building this car by any means, but I'm kind of at a plateau, if you will. I'm gonna enjoy it while it's in the status that it's in. Kind of building my Oldsmobile, because I'm beating the hell out of this thing. Kind of backtracking on this car, so I'm gonna work on my Oldsmobile. I built that Oldsmobile to beat. It's not in perfect shape by any means. I'm not gonna put a paint job like that on it by any means. That way when it starts tearing up, I won't feel so bad. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not against anybody building like super show cars, man. That's cool. It is awesome. If I could do it, I would like to do it. I dig the attention to detail on that stuff. Cars like Return to Oz. That car blows my mind. It's like, just when I think, you couldn't do anything more to it, they do more to it, which is awesome. And I do dig cars like that. I'm not saying that I don't. It's just, I know I can't afford it. So I'm not going to try and compete on that level. I really, as far as like competing goes, I don't really care to compete. I built my car for me. I built it for me to enjoy. If everybody else enjoys it, that's cool. I'm down with that. But just kind of want to touch on the subject. I thought it was a pretty good subject to talk about. Let me know what you guys think. Kind of going to wrap this video up, I suppose. See about going mess with the Oldsmobile a little bit. We got a somewhat decent looking day. So appreciate you guys watching. See you on the next one. If you haven't hit the subscribe button already, hit the like and subscribe button. And we'll see you on the next one. Remember, you won't know what you can do till you try. Get out and build your ride.